And if you listen in context to what Warnock was saying, what Warnock legitimately was saying in that sermon is that you can't be in the military and be a Christian. It was an anti-war, anti-military sermon, essentially saying that if you serve the military, you can't serve God. I don't know. You see, here's a problem. Let's rewind. Let's go back more than 100 years. I've mentioned this before. Albert Schweitzer, one of the most famous people to ever walk the planet. He was the punchline of jokes. He was a doctor. He was a Nobel Peace Prize winner. He was a theologian. And Schweitzer did a book, The Jesus Who Was There, delving into the historic 18th and 19th century German theologians who repeatedly will find that Jesus didn't exist, or they would, but he wasn't the Jesus of the Bible. And what Schweitzer found is that every single one of these theologians discovered that the real Jesus was themselves, that the Jesus of the Bible wasn't God incarnate, but the Jesus who sounded exactly like each of these theologians. If this theologian believed X, Y, and Z, well, guess what? Jesus believed it too. And Schweitzer writes this book and shows that everybody, when they go off looking for the Jesus other than the Jesus of the Bible, other than the Jesus who says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no one comes to the Father except through me, they find someone who looks just like them. They don't find the real Jesus. And then Schweitzer, a brilliant man, a Peace Prize winner, a doctor, does the exact same thing. And who really is Jesus? And Schweitzer comes up with a Jesus who sounds just like Albert Schweitzer. And this is what Warnock has done. And I say this as someone who has actually gone through his ministry in his sermons. Raphael Warnock believes that everything he thinks can be affirmed by the Bible, including killing kids. That Jesus would be okay with that. So Kelly Loeffler may have offended the Jesus who is in Raphael Warnock's head, but I assure you she didn't offend the real Jesus. And this is the problem with Warnock and his social justice theology, is that Warnock wants to build a heaven on earth, thinking that this can be overcome, the sins of the world can be overcome. You will never build a heaven on this earth because you are not God and people are sinners. And Raphael Warnock has a long tradition of supporting the idea that if you don't subscribe to his theology, you should be gotten out of the way. Warnock embraces heresy and treats as heretical Orthodox Christianity. And he wants to go to the U.S. Senate and hide behind the name of a Jesus that he himself invented and is not the Jesus of the Bible. He should repent. Not Kelly Loeffler. He should repent. Every sin that Warnock embraces is a sin that he believes his Jesus would affirm. And that means it's not the real Jesus, it's Raphael Warnock himself. You can serve God and the military. Yes, Warnock is dancing around. Yes, you can't serve God in money. You can't have idol worship. When you serve in the military, you're not worshiping an idol. You're doing your job. Christians have a doctrine of vocation where they glorify God in everything they do. If you are a doctor, you glorify God in your medical practice. If you're a radio show host, you should be glorifying God with proclaiming truth. If you are a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper you can be, and as Martin Luther King Jr. would say. Do the doctrine of vocation. Raphael Warnock is saying you can't actually serve in the military and be a Christian. That's actually his sermon. If you pay attention to his sermon. And that, my friends, is heretical. Not what Kelly Loeffler said, and shame on him for claiming otherwise. And this is a man, again, the President of the United States. Let me play the audio for you.
If you don't vote, the socialists and the communists win. They win. Georgia patriots must show up and vote for these two incredible people. And I'm telling you, they're two of the finest people you'll ever meet.
There you go. The president himself says you got to go vote or the socialists and the communists win. And he's right. Ossoff and Warnock are too far left. That's why they got problems with the North Metro Atlanta white voters. That's why Ossoff in particular has problems with South Georgia black voters. Too far to the left. Culturally, socially, fiscally, we don't want these people.